Hi, Emmanuel here with T2S Transform to Succeed. In this video today, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share with you on how you can read a portion or a section of a file text on a Linux operating system. Without further ado, I'm gonna just go right into this. I'll take you first of all to this list here you see on your screen. So we'll be talking about just a few commands here: grep command, head and tail command, file and stat commands, and then we're gonna end with a diff command. There are some other commands that you can use to also help you accomplish the same purpose here, such as the cat command, which is CUT command. I'm gonna make sure that I make just a dedicated video to help you make sense of this cat command. So without further ado, let's go onto our terminal here, or command line interface. I'm gonna take you there to the command line interface here. So we've got this here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just make sure that we have enough room there so that you can see what I'm doing here. So we're talking about several commands here, but not that many. So it's just probably I would say 6 commands here. So we're gonna begin with the grep command. Remember, I told you that if you have let's say you have a question about a command, what you do, you can use the man command here. Like you want to learn more about the grep command, you just use the man command and then run that command. So when you do man grep, it gives you a definition, a description of the grep command and what it stands for and so on and so forth. Like here, the grep command, or the egrep or fgrep or rgrep, it's gonna print lines that match the patterns that you're gonna select. And here you have the hypnosis. So how you can write this command. So you have the grep command, then you have the option, then you have whatever pattern that you want to use, and then apply that to a specific file. When you go back here, down here, and you want to read a little bit of the description about the grep command, then if you go down here, you have the different options that you can use. Like you have the dash uppercase V, then you have all the other options and so on and so forth. So you can play with this on your own time. Like you can dedicate 15 minutes and 20 minutes just learning the grep command. So I'm gonna exit by pressing the Q letter on my keyboard. So I am here. So let's say we want to grep. This is an example. We want to, there's a file like this file here, the ET. So it's a long file, the ET password file. This is the file that keeps information about every single user account that you create on a Linux system. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna get out of that. So when you look at that, let me recall that command again. So when you recall that command, let's say we want to grep everything that has this pattern, like no login. So everything that has a no login, we want to see it, meaning that these accounts, it could be a system or it could be a human being, an account belonging to a human being. So we can when an account has a no login, it means that the system or person owning that account, they cannot log in. So to that shell, they have a no login option there. meaning that they cannot log in, you know, and sometimes that's what you may need to do. And in the section when we start talking about user management, we'll come back to this, to all of these details here. So let's give it a try here. So I'm gonna try to grep. So I'm gonna grep everything that ends with no login from this file. I'll give it a try and see. So it doesn't work because I didn't write it right here. So let's say we want to say everything that ends with that. Let's give it a try and see if it's gonna give us something. It's probably thinking I'm gonna stop it there. So I'll just use something different. So let's say we wanna if we have, let's say we have student, and we'll get back to these operators, the $sign and the what we call the wildcard. I'll have a section talking about that, especially when we talk about the cat command. So I don't want to go deeper, because what I want you to do is just to master the grep command and its functionality. So if you do this, it means that we want to display or print only lines that have this pattern, and in our case it's student. So I press and there is nothing in there. I don't want you to worry about this command here. So I'm gonna add, I want to create an account that I'll call student. Then I press enter. Okay, I will use a sudo for permission, and we'll talk about sudo when the time comes. So we have that. So now if I do the grep student, because we can cat, let's say we want to cat this this file, because remember when we created, because every time you create a new account, what happens is it's added to the /etc password file. So we have this here, see here. So the new student, the new account belonging to the person or system known as student. So I want to clear the screen. So now if we do this, so this is a little bit simpler, but more simple for you guys. So you see, we can grep, and now we know that student is part of this, and we only have one line on that specific file. And you can do the same thing with anything that you want. So like, let's say we want to do root. See, root is there for as long as that pattern that you want to use is found on that specific file, then you can get those portions of the file. Okay, so that's done with the grep command. So if you go back to what we are looking at, I'm gonna show it to you here. So we've talked about grep command. So now let's talk about the head and tail commands. So when you talk about the tail and head commands, you're looking at the given number of lines that you want to display out of a given file. We'll go back to the same file. If you cat the /etc password file, there's so many lines here, right? There's so many lines. So if you want to display only the first 10 lines of this specific file, so then you use the command head. You do head, and then it's gonna display the first 10 lines of a file. And you can do the same with tail. Tail, obviously, it's gonna display the last 10 lines of that specific file. And you're gonna see the last line that was added to this file is student. So that's what we have. And then let's say your manager comes to you and asks you to display, okay, to maybe say who were the last 10 users that you added to our account, to the system here. So then in that case you can use tail. Okay, you can use tail, and that's how you do it. But by default, tail and head, they display respectively the last 10 lines or the first 10 lines. But you can change it. Like, let's say I want to display only 2 lines, then you use the dash and then the number of lines that you want to display there. So you see 2, and you can do the same with tail 2. See, so you have the last 2 lines that were added to that specific file, or the first 2 lines, depending if you're using head or tail. So that's about all about head and tail. So now, let's say you want to get more information about a file. Let's see what files we have here. So we have several files here. So let's say we want to get information about file 1 here. I just highlighted. So to do that, you use either the file, if you use the file command, and then the name of the file, that you run the command, this is what you get. And it says that you have this, and this text file has some content. So the other command that you can use is the stat command. So you do the same thing here. You use stat command, and you see the difference. I mean, they both display information about the file, but the file command doesn't display much, but the stat command displays so much. You know about the file name, and then the size of the file, and then you have the number of blocks, and it's a regular file, and then you can even get more information about when the file was created, when it was changed, modified, and accessed. So you get all of that information at the same time when you use the stat command. Okay, next, what we're gonna talk about is the diff command. That's the very last command that we're gonna look at. So let's say we have these files. We have this one here and that one there. So we wanna compare them. Then you can just use the diff command. You start with file, the name of the first file, and then you go to the second file. Because to compare, you have to use 2 items so that you can compare them. So you want to do that, and then you see here it tells you how these 2 files are different, and these are the different lines that are that the command will display to say, hey, these are the differences. File number 1, it has this, and that file number 2 does not have, and file number 2 has this, that file number 1 does not have. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you guys today. And then going back to what we have covered, so we have talked about how you can read portions or sections of a text file on an operating system, a Linux operating system. So we talked about the grep command, we talked about the head and tail commands. We talked about the file and stat commands, and lastly we talked about the diff command. So that ends our video for today, and thank you so much for watching. God bless, and I hope to see you in the next video.